something derogatory or innuendo against that person. And what happened? Some people, unfortunately, in the church will believe them. Some people will think that they are idiots and ignorant. They know what they are talking about. Some people will think they are doing that because they are actually jealous or envious about those people, that they are very well respected and loved, and they want to pull them down, thinking that they will come up and replace them. I have a news for these people. You're not a man, a good man, or enough man or a woman to replace these people. And that's why we lose so many. And the pastor later thanked him because he's repeating that all the time. He knows what's going on in the church. He knows what these people are doing. And he said this. He said, this people is a tool in the hands of Satan to spread disruption and division among us. And these people, I mean, no matter what these people are doing, it is a satanic and evil deed. And they will reap their deeds, there's no question. And they forgot that the one they are pulling him down and talking innuendos against, one day he's going to find out who's making it or doing it. What kind of face these people are going to face that person in the church? You know what they're going to face him? With a large, fake, and phony smile. So let's be careful with each other because it's very important. Enough said. Let's go back again where we are in Genesis, Genesis chapter 37. Nathan, we're in Genesis chapter 37. I left you the paper there. Do you see it? Okay. Thank you for coming. Genesis chapter 37 and verse 3. Now Israel, again, you'll find the name Jacob and Israel exchanging the same one. Now, Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. He was number 11. The one who was, his mother was Rachel, who was the love of his life. She gave him Joseph, and when she was delivering Benjamin, she died. She died of young age. God took her from him. Whatever is sowing, he's reaping in his children. And by the way, his children brought him shame and disgrace in front of all the families and towns and countries around him. He's reaping what he's sowing. He took her at a young age. So who you think, who raised Jacob, who raised Joseph and Benjamin? Their father. Do you think the other women will care about raising them? Of course not. And that's why they were close to him. 4. Let's say 3 again. Now, Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because the other ones cheaters and deceivers, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. Actually, they wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. Let us jump to, Nathan, let's jump to verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. The flock belongs to their father. And Israel said unto Joseph, Don't your brothers feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. And he said to him, Jacob said to Joseph, Go, I pray thee, see whether it will be well with thy brethren, and well with what? With the flocks. He doesn't care about the sons. He's caring about his flock because he knows that his sons are deceivers, cheaters. So he wants to see what's going with the flock. And bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale. The word vale is an old English word. Put inside vale is valley. Valley of Hebron, and came to Shechem. Now, there's another thing. It's not written in the Bible. But knowing those brethren, they probably cheated their father. They go away. They sell 10 sheep or 10 goats. They come back to their father and tell him, well, imagine they sold him for $100. They go back to their father and said, well, we sold him for $50. There's no receipt, there is no Visa card that you'll find out. And they give him $50 and pocket what? The other $50. It's not in the Bible, but I can imagine that's what they're doing. 15. No, jump from 15. Let us go, Nathan, to 18. And when they saw him, his brethren saw Joseph, afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to what? To kill him. Kill him. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Why they call him dreamer? Because Joseph dreamed 2 dreams, that his brothers will come day and worship and kneel before him. And that make him even more mad at him. They said, okay, let's see what the dreamer, we're going to kill him. 20. Come now, therefore, and let us lay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him, and we will see what will become of his dreams. Look at verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. Why Reuben? Why Reuben is the one who did that? Remember I told you Reuben is the firstborn? The firstborn son in the Middle East, he is the one who is responsible for the welfare and well-being of the family when the father is not around. And guess who is going to, Jacob is going to ask about Joseph. He's going to ask Reuben. And that's why I underline the word Reuben, and you know why it is? 22. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness. Wilderness means in the desert. Underline the word, when it is wilderness, any pit in the wilderness has nothing in it. And lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him, Joseph, to his father, Jacob again. 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that he was on him. Could you imagine the shock of Joseph coming, and they did that to him right away? Put yourself in his place. 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it, because in the wilderness. He was lucky. If that pit has water, what's going to happen to him? He will drown. 25. And they sat down to eat bread. The word bread in the original is meal, M-E-A-L, a lunch or dinner. But that's the way they talk in the Middle East sometimes. Say, oh, come and eat some piece of bread with me. That's how they talk. And they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites. Now, you know what the Ishmaelites are? The sons of Ishmael. They are cousins. The Israelites and the Ishmaelites are cousins, when you think of it. Came from Gilead with their camels. Stop. Lifted up their eyes. What does that mean? They looked up. They were in the valley, in a green land. Next to them is the desert. The caravans of the people who always travel on the desert, the caravan of camels, they always travel in a high ground in the desert. That's why we got the word highways here. It's coming from the caravans of the Arabs who were traveling in the desert in a high. Why they travel in a high altitude? So they can look around them and see if anybody coming attack them, to be ready for them. And that's why the highway. By the way, when you drive on Route 50 or Route 13 out of city, you will see that the highway is higher than what? The ground on the right and the left. And that's why they call it highway. They coming from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and palm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. What are they doing? What they are taking that to Egypt for? Spice is actually to preserve the body, the food. The myrrh and the balm is to preserve the body of their pharaohs and queens and noblemen, and they mummify them, is called mummification. Mummification, that you can take the body of that Pharaoh and preserve him for thousands of years without decay. And I look at a lot of mummies. I saw a lot of mummies in my life in the Egyptian Museum. They have them in a glass box. And you look at that king or Pharaoh, you can see the skin, the eyelashes, the nails, the hair. You look at that Pharaoh and you think that he died yesterday. How did they do that? Nobody knows. With our modern technology and science, nobody could figure it out how they did it. And that Pharaoh is 3,500 years old, and he's still intact and looked like he died yesterday. So that's why these people went to Egypt to give him the spice and the balm and myrrh. 26, and Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it for we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. Really? He's not talking about that. He's talking about the money he's going to gain from. And his brethren were content. Of course they loved. Instead of killing him and getting nothing, we're going to get money out of him. 28. Thank you, Nathan. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph the Ishmaelites. Is this confusing? Are they Ishmaelites? So what are the Midianites? Many people don't know that Abraham, when Sarah died, he married another woman. You know what the name of that woman who married? Keturah. You will find that in Genesis chapter 25, 1-4. And Keturah gave him 6 sons. One of the sons was called Midian. And he is the patriarch of the Midianites. So actually also the Midianites, the Ishmaelites, the Israelites, the people from Esau, all of them are cousins. Belong to the same family. And Midian, who married from the Midian tribe? Moses. When he flew or escaped from Egypt, he went to Midian and he married a woman from Midianites. What's her name? Zipporah. That's in Exodus chapter 21 and Exodus chapter 2 and verse 21. So all these people are cousins, and when you think of it, they hate each other, by the way, until today. But there is money making. They will deal with each other if they are making money out of each other. But other than that, they have nothing to do with each other. You know that. So do you understand now? There is no confusion. Verse 28 again. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites, because they are both of them are traveling together, the Midianites and the Ishmaelites. How much they got? 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben, 29, returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. Where was Reuben when they did that? I have the understanding, he's the firstborn. He probably went away with some sheep and goats to sell him to somebody that he promised that he's going to sell him to. When he came back, he found that way. What's the meaning of renting his clothes? It's a sign of mourning, extreme sorrow, and he was really distressed. What's he going to do now? 30. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not. Why call him a child? He was 17 years old. He's not. And what I'm going to do now? 31. And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood. 32. And they sent the coat of many colors and they brought it to their father and said, look at how deceitful and evil they are. Look what they said to him. This have we found. They found that coat. Now find out, look at it. This is your coat, the son's coat or not. Let me read it to you. 32. And they sent the coat of many colors and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. And he, Jacob, knew it and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. See how he's reaping what he did? He did not have the chance to bury his son with a very dignified burial. His son was eaten by wild beasts like an animal. You see how he's reaping what he's doing, what he did? 34, and Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days. Sackcloth, you know what sackcloth means? That was a custom in the Middle East at that time, the people. When somebody is mourning so bad and very distressed and very sorry, they will take off all their clothes off and they replace him with clothes made from goat's hair. Did you ever try to touch a goat's hair? Ask Megan, she can tell you how rough that is. Could you imagine making a coat out of goat's hair and close it in your body with nothing underneath? It's just like needles piercing that skin. That's the way this is the way they are. This is the habit. This is a custom. 35. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. Do you see how much he is reaping what he's did? His sons disgrace him. God took his beloved wife, the love of his life, from him. He thought, of course, that's what he has in his mind, that also his beloved son is taken away from him and not even have a body to bury. And not only that, there's many things going to happen to him also. And that's why I said, the people who's sowing this contention and division among our church, they're going to reap that one day. There's no question about it. Verse 35 again. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son Joseph, mourning. Egyptian at that time, because he was the captain of the guard in the Pharaoh's palace. And by the way, the word Pharaoh is not a name, it is a title. Like you say, the President of the United States. So Pharaoh is a title, not a name. And that's why I said, as my grandfather was a Pharaoh, his name is Mankari. So the Pharaoh is the name of a title. So remember that when you read the Pharaoh in the Bible, it is a title of a king in Egypt. Now, we don't have the time to say or to discuss or to explain what happened to him in Egypt. We'll leave that to next time, God willing, when I come to teach. I'll tell you what happened to him in Egypt. And there is so many things amazing of what happened to him in Egypt. And some customs and traditions that I need to explain to you about him when we read about him when in Egypt. So keep in mind to be good to each other, not to spread any innuendos or any false reports against a brother or sister, because remember, the law of sowing and reaping is going to catch up with you one day. And what you're doing is actually destroying the unity of us as a church. And thanks Pastor Leto, because he preached that many, many times, and I hope he will preach it many times, to aware us of these people and how they can help Satan to spread that division and confusion among us. And thank him for, and I hope he will keep preaching it, because we need to hear it from time to time. Thank you very much and have a good day.